58, where Harold Nichols maneuvered a little, trying to get what he thought was 2 good chances to win and not just 1. Normally, Nate Carr would be at the Randy Conrad 5. You see Iowa's lead there. It's been all Iowa so far. And this brings us to 150 and 158, where Harold Nichols maneuvered a little, trying to get what he thought was 2 good chances to win and not just 1. Normally, Nate Carr would be at this weight, but Marty Kistler is facing Murray Cruz, who was inserted here. Murray Cruz has wrestled at 58 and 67 all season, and Nate Carr went up to face Jim Zaleski at 158. You'll see that next.
In fact, Doug, this is the first time Murray Cruz has been at 150 since he was in high school.
And he said it wasn't all that tough to make it. 245, we just barely started here. Marty Kistler from a wrestling family. He has 3 brothers who are talented wrestlers. One of them was at Arizona State, transferring now to Iowa.
Well, one can project a lot of things into this weight class. I'm sure the Cyclones made the move with the hopes of getting a win here. With the score 12-0 in favor of the Hawks right now. Of course, a lot of things one might look to happen here. A 6-point win for the Cyclones here would put them right back in there with the 12-6 team deficit.
2, 4, 5, 6.
Referee counting there. He's counting time against people for shots, I'm sure. Cruz spinning around, out of bounds.
What's up?
Well, he had the head arm tie, trying to spin around behind for the 2.
There's your head on shots.
We're in the 2nd minute of the 3-minute first period. In the Iowa City meet, Murray Cruz wrestled at 150. Well, he didn't wrestle in that meet, as a matter of fact. It was Tim Brown at 158 and Tom Pickard at 167. Pickard is not in the lineup tonight.
1, 2.
And Marty Kistler is in his freshman year.
He had good position. He got in there deep, but had nothing with it, Doug. Murray that time, when he came back up, he came into the upper body maneuver. But,
warning against Kistler.
But he had nothing with that. He got real deep on it, the penetration. But the warning for stalling goes against Kistler.
There is no score, but Iowa leads 12-0 in the team score.
Race. 1, 2, 3.
Referees counting for inactivity. Inactivity takes place. We'll get a warning or a penalty.
No.
Off the edge of the mat, no control, neutral position.
Cruz countered an underarm spin there, a spin through by Kistler. 44 seconds to go in the first period, no score. Head to head in the center of the mat.
Cyclones would like to get back into this meet with a win at this weight class. And,
3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, I tell you, needless to say, they are in dire need of a win here somewhere along the line, because the Hawks have some tough guys coming up. The Bannock's, everybody's tough.
Son, you're still
On these
backing out.
teams.
We got 1 here.
1 point goes to Cruz. Kistler was stalling. That's the 2nd time he's been called. A match point in this case. You heard the referee calling the timeout for inactivity, and that was a good guideline for him to follow in determining the stalling call.
End of the first period.
10 to 15 second intervals so far as inactivity is concerned.
Top position.
Cruz leads 1-0. We asked Murray Cruz how this decision came about for him to go at 150 tonight. And asked him, how do you feel about it?
Willie and Nate kind of thought it up, and they think that I'll do all right at 50. And we lost the last time at 58, and Nate thinks that he can do a better job at 58 than Pickard, so Nick went along with it. So we think we can get the win at 50 and 58.
And Cruz is out right away.
1-point escape.
Put down on your knee, right here. My time, my time. You all right?
Just a time.
His knee buckled.
Knee buckled as far as the referee was concerned. He's looking out for the safety and welfare of the contestants, and we have the 1-point escape, so it's 2-0. Cruz out in front.
Cruz is from Rockmart, Georgia. Not many of the outstanding wrestlers come from the South, but he's been an exception. Competition's a little stronger up here, I guess.
Definitely so.
6, 7, 8.
Cruz gets the leg. Let's see how Kistler counters it. What Cruz does to take it down, if he can.
Oh, he pulled him right on top of himself.
Nothing yet. And out of bounds. Oh. Awful close to points.
There it is right here, Doug. He's got the leg, but he takes that head and pulls him back on top of himself. He didn't get turned through on it.
A peculiar move.
Yes, and he really saved a takedown against himself.
We have a minute left in the second period. Cruz leads by 2.
I think that Cruz probably could take Kistler down by going in on a double leg or a single shot. He's open for it.
Marty Kistler. Marty has to watch himself, too, because he's been warned and penalized already for inactivity. He got in on a spin-through once. 35 seconds.
There's another stalling call without question.
Another penalty against Kistler.
That's the second time. The next time it'll be a 2-point penalty, and if it were to be called another time, it would be disqualification. At this point, I'm sure the Cyclone coaches would want for Cruz to keep pressure on him, keep after him, in hopes to score big or score the next 2-point penalty for stalling, and or maybe get the disqualification later. Not a great deal going on out there at this point, however.
Marty Kistler, 4 titles in the state of California in freestyle.
Easy, easy on the edge. Back in, let's go.
2 seconds left.
Hustle, hustle, hustle.
Hardly seen enough time for points to be scored here, but you never know.
It could happen, but not very likely.
And it didn't happen. It's 3-0 Cruz at the end of the second period. And now Cruz starts on top.
You're down.
This will be the first position of advantage for Cruz.
3-0 on the board, okay? Stay set. Top.
2-minute period.
Not a lot of action on the whistle by either boy there, although Cruz stays behind the arms. Doesn't put himself in any position that might cause him some problems. A roll-through attempt by Kistler and just release and follow through by Cruz. There's a sit-out turn-in. Kistler for the 1-point escape. Then he comes in a double. Overshot his base. Didn't get good position, penetration. Cruz blocks off with a head-arm control.
He's got a real tough one. He's trying to come around behind.
He spins around for the 2.
And it's 5-1.
I would look for maybe an intentional release after he garners a little bit of riding time. He'll not give him 2. He'll give him 1 before he gives him 2. I'm sure he'll feel that he can score better from the feet than he can from a down position.
Hustle back.
1:07 to go in this match at 150 pounds. The Hawks have won everything so far. All the way through 142, lead 12-0. 4 decisions. But here Murray Cruz has a 4-point lead for Iowa State. Filling in, this is the switch. Nate Carr will go up against Jim Zaleski after this match is over. Iowa and Iowa State, you see Cruz in the advantage position. In the last minute, he lets Kistler go. 5-2 now in favor of Cruz. Kistler has been warned once, penalized twice for inactivity.
If the Hawks only lose a 3-point decision here, that's perhaps what they thought they might have lost to begin with, but the next weight will make the difference. If If the Cyclones could pick that up as a win, then they will have gained something out of this switch.
We're in the last 30 seconds. 3-point lead for Cruz.
There's a snap down, has a counter move for a takedown. Almost back points, but there's a 1-point escape by Kistler. So it's now
7-3.
7-3. And you see the end of the match nearing with 5 seconds, 4.
And that's it. The winner, 7-3, scoring the first Cyclone points, Murray Cruz. A 7-3 win over Marty Kistler. And so, with that victory, the Cyclones get up on the board for the first time. The Hawkeyes 12 and the Cyclones 3. And here comes a barn burner.
This will be a good one.
To coin a cliche, I guess. 158 pounds. Jim Zaleski, who I'm sure when he came to Ames did not expect to wrestle Nate Carr tonight. But he'll be ready. The second-ranked 158-pounder, and this ought to be a strong match. Carr, second-ranked at 150. Zaleski, second-ranked at 58. Very intense people.
A lot of activity going on out here. No points. The fans have gotten into this match too. They see the activity that's going on and they want to be a part of it. Both of them ranked second in the nation. Carr second at the 50-pound class where he's defending the 50-pound national title, and of course Zaleski is ranked second at this particular weight class, 158. Rory was 5th last year in the nationals.
Last year we saw Jim Zaleski defeat the 2-time national champion Ricky Stewart of Oklahoma State at 158 pounds. Now the problem here is that Nate Carr is actually out of bounds.
Center.
Although the supporting parts of Zaleski were in bounds, and consequently...
Let's listen to the referee here.
I told him. Right there. You've got to let him in. I know. All right, there's nothing there. It's my timeout.
The concern there was the simple fact that some people might have wondered why was Carr not coming back in. The point was that Zaleski was not allowing him to return. Consequently, that's the reason for the concern. And of course, the next time that happens, I'm sure you'll see a warning for stalling. And this would be, in this case, against Zaleski for not allowing Carr to return to the mat.
Harold Nichols was complaining that he couldn't get back in, and just after he left, Dan Gable complained that Nate could have come in if he wanted to. 2 minutes left, first period. Carr against Zaleski. It was an interesting moment at the weigh-in today when Nate Carr got on the scales. They were weighing each other out. They were weighing out of order. So you didn't know where Nate was weighing in, and he got on the scales, and it went up to 158. And it was a bit of a surprise in the road.
Right now, both boys are looking for openings, but
nothing so far.
No shots by either competitor.
A minute and a half gone and to go. First period. Carr trying to make a move, and he couldn't do it, and he's on his back. Zaleski has Carr in a very, very bad position with a minute and 18, and Carr is bridging violently here to avoid being pinned.
He's got a 5-point move. There's no question about it.
It would appear that Carr is out of the danger immediately of being pinned, but he had a 5-point move for Zaleski.
And he may score more back points. He's got that on guard in there pretty tough. And he's got that near leg scissor, putting a lot of pressure on him, keeping his hips under control. He's riding Carr tough at this point. We'd like to get him tipped for some more back points.
He's counting them.
He's got 2 more.
And what a big lead Zaleski's piled up. The Iowa fans in the crowd going crazy because Nate Carr can't do anything down there. 2 more.
And he's going to get 2 more here.
He's got him in that Turk, and he's really putting it on him here.
He sure is, without question. He's got a commanding lead at this point, and he's working tough physically on top.
Two more. It's 9-0 in favor of Jimmy Zaleski. Boy, what a first period he has. And look at that Iowa bench.
Choice here.
There's Dan Gable. Let's look at
There
it.
it is. Notice Carr tries to come around with a head and near leg, but boy, a body press, a body throw by Zaleski put him in trouble right now for a 5-point move, and he picked up 2 more successive near fall situations. He leads 9-0 now.
Well, I'll tell you, he got
9-1.
Jim Zaleski pancaked him in a hurry. And it's an escape for Zaleski, makes it 10-0.
And he comes in on a double, and he's going to look like maybe he's going to put Carr down for 2 more. No points.
Well, obviously, Nate Carr, who is embarrassed to be down by 10 here after going up to 158, is going to have to pull something out of the hat here.
I said 9-1 a moment ago, and I was thinking that Carr was down. It's the other way around. It's 10-0, Zaleski out in front.
10-0. Zaleski in on the leg.
Carr got in behind, but no mat points, no points. Standing position, he must take him to the mat with normal reaction time in order to score the 2.
Iowa looks just as tough as they can be here tonight in this big showdown at Hilton Coliseum between the #1 ranked Hawks and the #3 ranked Cyclones.
Well, at this point, Zaleski leads 10-0, but you must remember that Carr was on his back for the big part of that first period, and he's got to be more tired than is Zaleski.
Dan.
He's got to do a lot of wrestling to make up 10 points.
A warning was given there, too, as you may have heard, by referee Darrell Henry against Carr for backing out of bounds.
1 minute.
10-0 in favor of Jim Zaleski. A takedown and 7 near fall points in the first period.
Now that 5-point move really made the difference. He caught Nate in that body press, the pancake maneuver. And right now, it took a lot of sap, I'm sure, away from Carr, and he caught him in 2 more successive near fall points. And Nate's wrestling with a...
There's the first takedown for Carr.
It was a great deficit to overcome. 1 point intentional release.
11-2.
Nate's got to pour in the coals at this point to pick up a lot of points. He's got a lot to pick up.
He got the single leg, but it couldn't work it inbounds. There's Eddie Bannock, who will be up at 177 against Perry Hummel. You can see Dan Gable and crew are very excited, really. Very intense, but he's got to be happy with the way the Hawks have gone. Got to be happy. Big move was for Iowa State to send Carr up to 158 against Zaleski. But Jim turned the tables very quickly in that first period, and the strategy has not worked so far. Third period, 11-2 Zaleski.
And in the second period, it was a difference of 2 to 1.
It was 2-2 actually in that period. And Zaleski, of course, because of all that time in the near fall position where he had Carr on his back, has riding time, minute 28 to 8 seconds.
Easy.
Zaleski on top, and
He's
he's
got that
racking them
3
up
points.
again.
I don't believe, yes, he's got the 2 back
them.
points.
He has just managed to make that move to his heart's content.
Well,
13-2.
he's wrestling tough on top. He's working Nate real tough.
Easy, easy.
In fact, he's got a superior decision going right now.
He sure does.
With riding
13-2.
time.
You're all right.
Jim Zaleski, his brother Lenny won 11-5
Stay set.
at 142 over Randy Conrad. Barry Davis won at 18. Trezino over Otto at 26. Kerber upset Gibbons at 34, and boy, did things turn.
Carr stands up, but Zaleski picks him up and puts him to the mat. Carr comes back up. There's your body lock. He puts Carr back to the mat and on his shoulders for the 3-point. Near fall. He's got 3, and there's the 1-point escape for Carr.
I'll tell you, 16-2.
1 here at neutral.
The last time I saw Nate behind this far, I believe was when he was a freshman, wrestling against Andy Ryan of Wisconsin, who was so good on his feet that he could take him down almost any time he wanted at that time. And here, boy, I'll tell you, this is the one that's still the Cyclone crowd.
Well, Jim Zaleski is just wrestling tremendously well tonight, and he's putting all of his moves together. I just don't think he could look much better.
No, he really couldn't. Yeah, he's in there in a tough weight. You see 16-3 is the score because of the car escape. And the team score is 12-3. Some of the 14,500 people in Hilton Coliseum, which has been unusually quiet for an Iowa State meet here because the way Iowa's wrestling, Iowa State hadn't been in it yet. Zaleski's been solid and powerful. Now Carr's in on the leg. That's 2.
Came in after. That was 2. Came in after. 2.
Good boy takedown. He was in on it, no question about it.
16-5, but it's still, because of the riding time situation, it's still a potential superior decision because of that. There it is now, makes it 17-5. And Carr has to get the takedown in order to escape a superior decision against him.
Which means 5 team points.
Anything difference of 12 or more. We're in the last 35 seconds. And it's an important move here that Carr can make. And that's something.
Boy, I'll tell you, Zaleski really wrestled tough here. And there's 2 more.
And 2 more.
He's got his superior.
Well, I'll tell you what. Nate tried to get in there with that bear hug. But I'll tell you that you can see here, I think, the difference between 150 and 158 pounds of 2 good wrestlers.
Carr tries the body lock throw himself, but he got off his base, and of course, Zaleski kept the pressure on him and took the 2 himself.
Not too many people are going to out-muscle Nate in that situation.
But I'll tell you, Zaleski is tonight. This Zaleski is tough.
He looks terrific. 19-5, and he's going to get a riding time point. When was the last time Nate Carr gave up 20? And there it is, a big win for Jim Zaleski. 20-5 for Iowa in that match. 20-5, and it is a superior decision. 15 for Iowa, 3 for Iowa State. Let's take a moment for station identification. This is the Iowa Public Broadcasting Network. And the Iowa